There are certain moments in tech where the entire world stops and goes, "Wait, what?" Like when Steve Jobs pulled the first iPhone out of his pocket. Like when Apple decided to take the headphone jack out and everyone lost their minds. And now, we might be at one of those moments again because apparently the iPhone Fold is real. And not only is it real, but it's supposedly gonna cost just $800. Yup, 800 bucks for a foldable iPhone in this economy. Now, before you throw your old iPhone into the trash and start lining up outside an Apple store, let's calm down for a second. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but there have been some absolutely wild leaks lately, and they all seem to be pointing in the same direction. So today, I'm breaking down 5 of the craziest new leaks about the iPhone Fold that just dropped. Stuff about price, the release date, the design, the software, the hints tech, every single thing. So strap in, because this is Apple going full bananas once again. Leak number 1. Let's start with the headline that broke the internet. Multiple leakers, including some tech analysts and blog reports that have historically been accurate, are claiming that Apple is exploring a price point of just $800 for the base model iPhone Fold. Now, if you know anything about the foldables, you know this is absolutely bonkers and insane. The Galaxy Z Fold 5 launched at $1,800. The Pixel Fold is the same. Even the upcoming Z Fold 7 is expected to be in that same ballpark. So how the heck is Apple pulling off just $800? Here's the theory. First off, it might not be a full-blown flagship foldable. Some insiders think Apple's planning a smaller clamshell style foldable like the Galaxy Z Flip, with fewer bells and whistles, but still premium enough to feel like an iPhone. Others think it might be a sort of budget-first device with an A18 chip instead of an M series chip, which would drastically cut the cost. Think of it as a hybrid between an iPhone and an iPad mini, but one that folds. Kinda crazy, but it makes sense if Apple wants to hit a lower price tier and compete directly with Samsung's Flip lineup, not the Fold. Also, Apple's got the scale. They can make the deals, drive down supply costs, and streamline production in ways no other company can. And they know that $800 is the sweet spot to pull in people who want foldables, but don't want to sell a kidney to afford one. Leak number 2. Next up, when can you actually buy this thing? The most solid info comes from Ming-Chi Kuo and Display Supply Chain Consultants, both of which have stellar track records. They are saying the iPhone Fold is targeting a late 2025 or early 2026 release. So why so long, you might be asking? Well, Apple wants to make sure they get the tech just right. Foldables are still a bit janky in the Android world. Hinge problems, screen creases, dust issues. Apple doesn't want that mess, and apparently they're working on a brand new hinge system that could be more durable than anything we've seen before. We're talking about 200,000 plus folds with minimal wear. Samsung had to learn that the hard way. Apple's watching and learning, and then swooping in with something that is polished and ready to go. That's classic Apple. Leak number 3. Now let's talk about the screen. This thing's gonna fold, obviously, but according to recent reports from the Elec and Mac rumors, Apple's working with Samsung and LG to develop a flexible OLED panel with ProMotion 120Hz refresh rate. Translation: it is gonna be buttery smooth. Rumors say it might be around 7.9 inches unfolded, which is close to the size of an iPad mini. Folded up, expected to be the size of a slightly thicker iPhone Pro Max. Basically, it'll turn your phone into a mini tablet in seconds. Also, Apple might go with a dual screen setup instead of one single foldable screen, similar to what Microsoft tried with the Surface Duo, but done better. that would make it more durable and reduce crease issues. Leak number 4. This wouldn't be a 2026 Apple product without AI shoved into every crevice, right? And you better believe Apple's going big on what they're calling Apple Intelligence. Leaks say the iPhone Fold will come with iOS 19 or 20, heavily optimized for foldables. That means split screen multitasking, drag and drop features, better multi-touch support, and maybe even floating app windows like you get on iPads. Basically, you're going to be able to use this thing like a mini MacBook if Apple gets it right. And with Apple's AI tools like smart summaries, enhanced Siri, and offline processing, this might be the most powerful mobile experience they've ever built. Imagine folding open your phone and having it become your portable workstation. That's the dream. Leak number 5. Here is where it gets real interesting. Early leaks pointed to an M series chip, maybe even a scaled down version of M3 or M4. But newer reports suggest that the iPhone Fold might actually use a souped up version of the A18 Pro chip, which will already be in the iPhone 16 Pro and possibly other devices. So why not use the M5 chip? Well, it's a no-brainer. M series chips run hot and eat more power, not ideal for a thin foldable iPhone. The A18 Pro on the other hand is being built on TSMC's 2nm node, which means better efficiency, less heat, and still insane performance. With that and possibly 8GB or 12GB of RAM, you're looking at a beast of a phone. Also, battery life might be surprisingly good thanks to Apple's stacked battery tech, more battery in less space. Combine that with software optimization and the iPhone Fold could beat the Galaxy Z Fold 7 on endurance alone. Bonus leaks. Alright, let's throw in some shade. Compared to the rumored Z Fold 7, which is shaping up to be another premium slab with better durability and AI tools, Apple is definitely gonna compete hard. Samsung has years of experience, sure, but Apple has the ecosystem, AirDrop, iMessage, Handoff, FaceTime, Universal Clipboard, Apple Note syncing with your Mac. All of that is going to work seamlessly on the iPhone Fold. Meanwhile, Google's Pixel Fold 10 is focusing on camera improvements and AI again. And that's cool. But if you've ever held a Pixel Fold, you know it's a chunky little mess. Apple's hardware is likely to feel thinner, more polished, and just more premium, posh. And let's not forget the software updates. Foldables on Android often lag behind when it comes to updates. Apple, you know they'll be supporting the iPhone Fold for 5 to 6 years, easy. So yes, $800 for an iPhone Fold? It sounds insane, but the leaks are adding up. Apple is testing foldable displays, they are working with display suppliers, they are locking down patents, they are reportedly in the late stage of development. And if this thing drops in 2026 with a slick design, a durable hinge and a killer display and also an optimized software at just $800 measly dollars, that is definitely going to send shockwaves through the whole smartphone supermarket, because suddenly foldables won't be a $2,000 gimmick, they'll be a mainstream option. So yes, keep your eyes and ears peeled. The foldables future might finally be here, and somehow Apple might just make it affordable. Anyway, that is all I've got for today. Go fold your laundry or something. See you in the next one. Peace out.